Kevin, how worried are you about the state of our schools, and how worried should we all be?
Well, the union's worried, but the National Audit Office, this independent report today, that's very worrying. You've just heard two horrible stories. The story about concrete falling on a parent as she picks her child up, and then the disruption to school life. It's a very worrying situation. I'm really pleased to be on your radio program this morning, but I bet you've tried to get a schools minister and they're not appearing. And it worries me that I think they're turning a blind eye to the state of our school buildings, just like they're turning a blind eye to the state of teacher shortages in our schools at the moment. But it's worrying on this concrete situation, this RAC, the reinforced autoclaved aerated concrete, which wasn't a bad building material at the end of the Second World War, but people, because it got the schools built after the bombing, but people knew it had a design life of 30 years. And we just haven't prepared. The government hasn't prepared, and we're not repairing schools fast enough. There's also asbestos in 13,000 school buildings, not schools, but individual blocks in schools. And the NAO's reporting that 3,500 of those are worryingly out of control, that we're not managing the asbestos properly in those. There are all sorts of maintenance problems in schools. There are schools, if you look online, you can see, and members are telling us, leaks through the roof that's disrupting their teaching when it's raining. Schools that are far too hot. Sometimes you have to abandon teaching in a heat wave because it's too hot. We need far more investment in our schools estate.
What are your teachers saying to you about all of this?
Well, they're saying that they think the government isn't doing a good enough job, that it's not investing in education. And they worry that the government sees education as a cost, not as an investment in the future of the country, which is how they should be seeing it. So, it feels to, I think our members, they feel that government is ignoring the needs of schools, both in terms of, the day-to-day spending. So a teacher's reporting, for example, I was talking to an A-level teacher last week who told me, we had a lobby of Parliament about these sorts of issues, that her entire spend for her kids for a whole year was 90p per child. I said, you mean per week? And she said, no, I mean per year. So there's teachers feel that they don't have the resources to help with children in the classroom. They think they're being ignored about the teacher shortages, and they think they're being ignored about the state of school buildings. And there are hard-working head teachers like, is it Anita that you've just been speaking to, who are working their way round all of these problems. But people feel that the government needs to step up. And I don't know, have you got a minister on? Are they coming out to speak about this? My understanding is they're not, but...
No, we do not have anyone from the government coming on. We've got a statement from them, which I'll read out shortly, but I understand your frustration, Kevin. Thanks very much. That's Kevin Courtney, General Secretary of the National Education Union, and also speaking to Anita Bath, CEO of Bishop Hewitt Catholic Education Trust. So that statement from a Department for Education spokesperson, they say they're significantly investing in transforming schools up and down the country. They say they're investing in 500 projects for new and refurbished school buildings, and have additionally allocated £1.8 billion for this year to keep schools safe and operational. A couple of texts here about this.